And as you can see right here, you're looking at images of Leonard Nimoy. He was one of science fiction's most iconic actors. He passed away today. He's best known for portraying the stoic Mr. Spock on Star Trek, the TV series, and of course in the recent movies. His widow tells us, the New York Times, that he died of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Leonard Nimoy was 83. Here today to talk about Leonard Nimoy's great influence and legacy is Dan Farr with Salt Lake Comic-Con, and Erica Stark here, who's the founding member of the Starfleet Command 7th Fleet. You see some of the fleet is here with us here today, so the 7th Fleet and other fleets here. A lot of fans loved Leonard Nimoy here, Dan. Oh, absolutely. I mean, his character was such a powerful character. I mean, he's someone that he didn't have to talk loudly to be listened to. I mean, he spoke just with power and very authoritative.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he also had his human side to him, which was, you know, you'd see glimpses of that now and again, and I think that's what made him so endearing. People loved him.
What is it as fans that you loved so much about Leonard Nimoy as an actor and then Mr. Spock, his character?
Well, Mr. Nimoy was a wonderful person just as a human being. You can see evidence of his spirit in his books of poetry and his books of photography.
He was a poet?
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yes. And as far as the character goes, the Vulcans in general have a theory, a belief system that for short is IDIC, is infinite diversity in infinite combinations. And that's part of what makes the Star Trek fandom so welcoming to so many different people. There are people that I know I never would have met if it hadn't been for Star Trek.
So infinite possibilities as a fan.
Right.
We can embody those possibilities.
Mr. Nimoy was very hands-on in developing the character of Mr. Spock and in the Vulcans in general.
Do you think he really did a good job, Dan, of being able to embody that character, not only just as a character, as an actor, but as a person? So when you recognized him, you're thinking, Leonard Nimoy and Mr. Spock are the same guy.
Well, and that's the thing, is I think it was hard for him to, later on in his career, to really break away from that, because he was Mr. Spock. And but later on he embraced it, and I think the opportunity that we had to have him Skype in for our event in September was huge, and the fans felt like he was actually there. And it was so interactive, and it was something that we were lucky to be one of the last few cons to get Mr. Nimoy to Skype in. So.
Yeah, what a great experience that was. It's like he's kind of channeling us in from the deck of the Starship Enterprise almost.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
And we see some of the memorabilia here of Mr. Spock. You've got some playing cards I see here. What are we looking at here, Erica?
There are just some different books that he's written.
So this is one of the poetry books you're talking about here? Maybe?
Yes.
All right, I'll take your word for it. You've also got him on Newsweek, the cover of Newsweek right here. One of the more recent photos of Mr. Spock. What else do we have here?
There's a program from a convention and some Star Trek books in which Mr. Spock featured.
I didn't know they had a comic book series for Star Trek.
Well, they had to. It's so powerful. You have to have the comic books to go along with it. So, yeah.
Of course. Yeah, it really spans the gamut here of what he was like. How often do you get requests? When you get requests for people to come in for Comic-Con, how often was he at the top of the list?
Yeah, he was one that we'd get suggestions on all the time. He wasn't doing a lot of them the last couple of years because of his health, and so when it was actually presented to us by his agent that we do a Skype event with him, it was like, oh, no-brainer. We'll do that for sure.
Yeah, you'll take that.
We had the best thing we could have.
Well, he's a character that I think, regardless of whether you're a Trekkie or not, that people recognize that character and that actor. Yeah. And I think people most remember for this one thing right here.
There you go.
To live long and prosper. You want to do that? We'll kind of sign off here for Leonard Nimoy today.
Yeah.
All right, we appreciate Dan Farr being here. We've got Erica Stark here with the Starfleet Command and all the rest of us to Leonard Nimoy. Live long and prosper. We'll be right back.